You are listening to Personal Development Mastery Podcast, providing those with a desire to grow with the simple, consistent actions needed to master personal development and create the life they yearn for. I am your host, 𝘁rep𝗸𝗲. A few years ago, I was unfulfilled and unmotivated, like I had lost my sense of purpose and my life was merely passing by. Since then, I've been on a continuous journey of personal development and self-mastery that has transformed every aspect of my life. Now my mission is to inspire you to grow, stand out, and take action towards a purposeful and fulfilling life. Welcome to episode 281. Today I carry on with a concept I started a little while ago, which is reflecting on and consolidating the learnings of the previous recent interview episodes. So instead of adding more knowledge, I revisit the previous episodes and consolidate the insights imparted by my guests. My intention in these kinds of episodes is to distill my guests' wisdom and present it to you in a way that you will find something that resonates, that inspires you to take a kind of action as a result. I have realized more and more that repetition is the mother of learning, and that's why I find it important to revisit the previous episodes and break down the learnings of the conversations and convert them into actions. If you have listened to the podcast a few times, then you probably have heard me saying that my mission with Personal Development Mastery podcast is not to inform, it's not to pass on information. Rather, it is more about influencing, inspiring positive change, creating transformation. You know, there is an abundance of knowledge out there, so the issue is not lack of knowledge. I believe what's missing is converting this knowledge into the actions that will create behaviors, that will create results, change, improvement, self-growth. And in this episode, my intention is to give you those actions, those elements that you can implement in your life. I hope you will find it useful and valuable. Today I will discuss 3 of the previous conversations, and there are a couple of more which I will include in the next consolidation episode and catch up at that time. The first episode I will discuss is number 270 with Alexander 𝘁, where we discussed mastering the art of meaningful conversation. Alexander has a background in efficiency and time management, and he is also one of the co-founders of 𝘁_net, which if you have been listening to the podcast for a while, you might have heard me mention it in the past, and I will only briefly point you here to episode 160 to find out about this organization or organism that 𝘁_net is. One of the most important takeaways from the conversation with Alexander was about our thoughts and how many people let their mind be their master rather than their servant. So it's one of the standard settings, shall we say, of the mind that when you're not consciously steering your mind and ideas, if you just allow thoughts to just bubble up, then your thoughts will typically go to something fearful. When you don't steer your thoughts, your mind likes to start scanning for things that might potentially go wrong. And then when something comes up, you start leaving that already in your mind. And it's not only unpleasant, it also triggers you to create actual events such like that. So be aware of this standard setting or pattern of thoughts and consciously aim your thoughts into a creative direction. And Alexander offered a practical tool. When you realize that you have a thought or a story in your mind that is not serving you, you can lean back into the now and be present with whatever presents itself in the real world around you, not carrying on making up your own fantasy story about what might happen next. So when you realize that you have this pattern of thought or story, it's okay to drop it just for 10 seconds. So consciously drop it for 10 seconds. Chances are that after those 10 seconds, your mind already has picked up some different flow. One other thing that we discussed was communication and meaningful conversations. And because we live in a very busy world full of clutter, we're used to needing to speak up if we want to be heard. But for masterminding, for meaningful conversations, we need to turn this around and be the person who brings the space so that the other one really feels heard. You listen to the information and you let it sink in and you process it, rather than just trying to squeeze a few words as a reply. People underestimate how enormously productive these meaningful conversations can be. One great idea could save you months of work or years of work. So when you start to think like that, and once you understand the power of asking for help, for input, then you can figure something out that might have taken you months or more to figure out yourself. So masterminding and mastering the art of meaningful conversations is a superpower which is untapped by many. The second episode I will consolidate today is number 272 with Claudia Noriega Bernstein, and she discussed the 7 steps to achieve abundance. Claudia is an artist, writer, coach and mentor, and she spoke about how to get past the scarcity mentality. So here are the 7 steps to achieve abundance according to her. And the first one is to acknowledge the problem. When something is not working, when you don't have the abundance you want, the first thing you have to say to yourself is, why is this not working? And also, why do I want something different? Why do I want a different life? The second step is to practice gratitude, but not in a mechanical way, but really be aware of the blessings you have and really be thankful. Say it out loud. Feel the gratitude. Number 3 is a belief in possibilities. Look at the situations not as problems or walls or inconveniences. Think of them as possibilities. Number 4 step, always surround yourself with positive people. Not with people who think, this is not going to happen, I hate this job, I don't like the country, I don't like this politician. When you're surrounded with people like that, you carry that weight of those people. Step number 5 to achieve abundance is meditate. And meditation is not about having a blank mind. Your thoughts are going to come, but it is your ability to be aware of them so that your mind can rest. Meditation in a way makes space for what is available because it allows you to get rid of the weight from the past so you can make space for what's available for you. Step number 6 is pursue what you love. It's very important to do what you love, even a little bit during the day, to have that joyful experience in your life, even if it is just 10 minutes a day. And every day make a step closer, even if it's only an inch. Make a step closer to where you want to be. And the 7th step is coaching. Sometimes we simply don't have the answers. So we need someone to guide us, someone to help us find that abundance or actually realize that abundance, the abundance that we have in our life. Claudia also offered a practical exercise that will allow you to be more in tune with who you are and empower yourself every day. And it involves going to the mirror and telling yourself you love yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at your eyes in the mirror and say positive things about yourself. What's good about yourself? What do you bring to the table? This way you empower yourself for the day. And When you do the exercise in the beginning, perhaps you won't be able to hold your eyes looking back at you for long. But the more you do it, the more you will be able to really look at yourself in the mirror. And once you do that, you will realize that the person looking back at you has got your back. You are not alone anymore. You have everything you need within you. The third and last episode I'm going to discuss today is number 276 with 𝘁𝗀𝗄𝗆, a prosperity and success coach. She believes that challenge is necessary on our success journey, but the struggle isn't. And the conversation revolved around the power of decision. Why do people have a hard time making decisions and how to change that? She said that people have hard times making decisions because if they choose wrong, they are afraid to fail. So if I make the wrong decision that leads to heartache or failure, what does that mean about me? And it always comes down to the exact same thing, the feeling that I'm not enough. And as a result of that, the feeling that I'm not going to be loved. I'll be alone. She spoke about how she made the decision at some point that everything works out for me, and how that decision became the foundation for everything else. Because once you have decided something, you go along the path with that decision. And when you decide that everything's working out for you, this allows you to take the risks. They say that highly successful people don't make the right decisions. They make the decisions right. And they also trust that as they go along that path of the decision, they're not going to go too far down the wrong path without having some signs that they are on the wrong path and course correct in time. And trust in that intuitive feeling that comes many times when we're about to make a decision that leads us to knowing that this is the right decision, and then not allow our fearful thoughts of failure to deter us from following on that decision. And one implementable action tool that Alison offered was this. Regardless of where you are right now, maybe life is going really well for you, or maybe it's not. But we're here, all of us are here to expand and grow. So look at your life and think and write down what is actually working for you. Even if you feel like you are at your bottom, start looking right where you are. What is working for you right now? For example, I have electricity, I have light or heating right now. It's snowing outside, but I'm indoors. And that will increase your gratitude. And gratitude is one of the most powerful tools of creation we have at our fingertips. So look at all that is working out for you. These were my reflections and consolidation of practical insights from these 3 episodes, and you will find the links to the full episodes in the show notes. I hope you found this episode useful and valuable. If you want a special ebook that I have created containing the best practical action points from the most important early podcast episodes, then go to personaldevelopmentmasterypodcast.com/ebook, and there you will find implementable strategies on a multitude of topics, from finding your purpose to calibrating your intuition, money mindset, visualization techniques, emotional intelligence, improving your meditation, the Wim Hof method, and more. And one last thing, if you found today's podcast of value, please take a moment to leave me an Apple Podcasts or Spotify review and share how personal development mastery has made a difference to you today. And until next time, stand out, don't fit in.